Greetings and salutations, my fellow Pungolians and citizens of the Imperium, and welcome to a very special series. As you saw from the thumbnail, we're going to be doing Leetu, L-E-2. Now, who the hell is that? That's a good question, my friends. That's a good question. L-E-2, or Leetu, is, if not the first, one of the first prototype Marines, prototype Space Marines. He is older than the Primarchs. He is one of the first, if not the first. I want to say he's the second, only because of its designation, LE2. I feel like only a genius would screw that up. You know, just like any Mega Man fans out there, if you know, when Dr. Light makes his robots, he always puts a DLN and then whatever number. So for Dr. Light number, for Proto Man, it was 000, his prototype Marine. When it comes to whoever was DLN1 and all that other shit, I honestly can't remember my Mega Man lore all that well. So we'll jump back to the universe that we have in our hands. Leetu. Apparently, our good buddy Dan Abnett decided to throw Leetu into the Siege of Terra. And by the time Siege of Terra happens, Leetu would be fucking ancient. So for the fact that he's in this, my apologies for any spoilers out there. You only get half apologies because that's exactly how I found out. Was through a spoiler. And we all know I'm not a huge fan of spoilers. I have the entire Siege of Terra series sitting right up there. The hardback. Ooh, excuse me. I have the hardback editions, and they're fantastic. No, I haven't gotten to read them yet. I'm about halfway through the first one, the Solar War. Just life keeps happening, man. And when life happens, you don't really exactly much of kind of have a choice, but to prioritize and take care of yourself and your family and everything like that. Why am I getting notifications? I should not be getting notifications while I'm recording. I'm sorry, Toby. I don't mean any offense, buddy. But I definitely should not be hearing from anybody. That makes me concerned, because what if some jackass dares try to call me? How dare you? And that's right, I said dare. You would dare call my phone. You have my big fat number and everything, and you're going to dare call my phone. Well then, I must know you. He wasn't calling me, though. He was just sending me a message. Anyway, Leetu, didn't forget about you. So, what he was doing on Terra, besides living his best life, is beyond me. Whether or not he survived is beyond me. Whether or not he stayed loyal is beyond me. I really don't know much about this guy except for the brief lore that I've read up on. And what the hell else was there? I'm going to paint one of these knees black. Yeah. So anyway, just reading his story, I had to go back and read it again, only because when I had first heard about him, I was like, hold on. Just the fact that they told me who he was and what his shtick was, my mind immediately started to run crazy with all of the thoughts I'm sure like many of you might have had Hopefully this is not the first time you've ever heard of Leetu. If it is, you're welcome. And go look it up real quick. And I decided to do my own kind of color scheme for him. And also not realizing that I'm more or less trying out a color scheme. Not exactly. Let's be fair. I have an idea. So I had recently thought of a new successor chapter. So for anybody out there who's been paying attention to my recent projects that I've been announcing and all that stuff, the Sanguin Heresy, that is something I've been working on lately. Honestly, I've been working on Sanguin Heresy for about 2 years, but still trying to figure out the best way to lore dump, and I think it's going to be a smattering of stuff. So some people like the idea of scattered lore that they would have to piece together over time. Find all the bits and pieces of it. Some people would like a straight up lore dump approach, or if I just made a straight lore video. Other people would like if I were to do it here. So I could paint the model and talk about the model here, all in the one place. And honestly, that sounds like a great idea to me. They all sound like great ideas to me, and I already have thumbnails made for certain things. The scattered lore idea would just be, you're going to have to track down that lore. And I would drop hints in recent stuff so you would know where to look. Seek the Raiders of Week Late. Something like that. Raiders of First Light, or Raiders of the Last Light. And you would know to look for Dusk Raiders, because of my Sanguin Heresy, we do have different, some slightly different things. Some things are there, some things are not. Certain legions are there. Certain titles of legions are there. But either way, I guess we'll get back to this color scheme that I was talking about. I don't want to get caught up on Sanguin Heresy too much right now. So the color scheme, from your own research and everything, that Leetu wears, in his first model, he's wearing red armor. And he's got basically the Mark VI, because that was the very first look of Space Marines back in the day. Like, Leetu is older than the game itself. As far as being released and everything, yeah, apparently Leetu is even older than the game. So, you're looking at all that. I figured I couldn't go without painting him. His a second model, or revamp, or whatever you might want to call it, he's wearing blue armor. We all know I'm not a huge fan of blue. So, I'm going to paint him my own little color scheme here. And it's just a simple black and white color scheme. I figured he wouldn't be all that, I guess, decorated. I honestly just figured he would not be crazily done up, that he would have a simple scheme going on. So I chose to prime this in white. Then I primed the shoulders in gray, of course, and you just saw me paint them black. I see a gray shoulder and I want it painted black. Oh, excuse me. You see how that black didn't come out all the best? Doesn't happen much. But we usually don't paint big surfaces. Big. It's just a fucking pauldron. But you know what I mean. We don't really paint bigger surfaces with this anymore, so we forget just how thin it can go on. And there you go. All it takes is a very thin coat, and you're back on track. Now, for anybody who's been wondering for the last 10 and a half minutes what the hell those two are doing there, well, you can stick around. You know what? No, I'll tell you now, fine, because I had an idea about it. It has not much to do with the show. So, you know what? All right. This is the first miniature that I ever painted. I had my dates and facts wrong, so I do apologize. I thought I painted this in 2018. It turns out I did paint it in 2019. But I did repaint it, and I want to say it was either in 2019 or it was early 2020. It might even been during the furlough, and I honestly don't remember. But this is the first miniature that I had ever painted, and this is a repaint. And literally last night, my daughter, my 4-year-old, painted this. I got this Gengar. I was going to use it for the show. I didn't want to use it for the show, mainly for that dot right there and the inside of the mouth. Like, just trust me. It was just enough to where I was like, I don't want to use this for the show. But my daughter saw it, and she really wanted to paint it, and she asked if she could. She even used my miniature brushes. It was really cute. And she did Gengar. And I love it. I love it. And she even asked to put it up on her shelf. Not her shelf, my shelf, along with all of the others. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's do that. Put it up there. So we did. My apologies, I'm just looking for a brush. A brush that I feel like using. What the fuck? It's Haggard. We're just going to do the base real quick for you. You see that? You see that? This is what happens when you do not take care of brushes. And I will tell you that it's okay. I'm not that worried about this brush. All right. Let's just get this base going. I was so about to say, dude, we're making a lot of progress. Yeah, that's because we didn't have to touch that armor. That's why. So I anticipate that this might be a 3-episode ordeal. I've gotten a little better at trying to judge my episodes. The miniature I just painted yesterday was Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein. And honestly, he could have been easily another episode. It could have been a 5th. I ended it at 4. I was like, you know what? I'm going to end this here. And I'm going to touch up the rest of it off camera. And that's what I did. Basically, I finished the model off screen. Partly was I just kind of wanted to focus, and honestly, I didn't want the series to drag on for too long. So I just did what I thought was best. And if anyone's upset, like if you honestly just want to watch the absolute entirety of everything that I do, by all means, let me know. Be like, hey, don't do that again. Just let me watch. All right. And I'll be more than happy to oblige. There will be times, I'm sure, where I'm going to be like, all right, we're done. You know, like the Sanguin Specters, how that ended up being 7 fucking episodes. 7. How the hell are you going to have 7 episodes about that? It doesn't matter. All right. So we got our base more or less done. And you see how, look how wet. Oh, it's so gross. Don't worry about the neck. We'll get to that in a second. I know you see it. You see that? I'm going to explain that in a second. But back there, that's right. This color is back. The Rakarth fresh? Rakarth? I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, dude. I don't care. It's a nasty, sickly, putrid-looking green. All right, that's just the paint pot being disgusting. But shake that up, Jesus! How embarrassing! How embarrassing! It doesn't matter. So, that being said, let me see. All right, let's get some metals out. I know I was saying something. I'm trying to remember what the fuck I was saying. Sorry, guys. I really am trying to remember what I said. Right, they got the base, and I got that Rakarth flesh, whatever the fuck it is. I've seen it used for, I want to say, Death Guard. I don't really use it for my Death Guard. And I don't mean my Sanguin Heresy Death Guard either. I just mean my Death Guard. I paint them, in my opinion, lore accurate. I don't like to paint them green armor. Anyway, I don't care if green is lore accurate. I don't care. Again, what the hell was I saying? I keep getting distracted because my brain kind of sucks. Right. I figured we'd just try something different with the base. Honestly, it's a let's throw that green on there and see what kind of coloring over that brown it will give us, if any difference at all, if any kind of differential. I honestly don't know if it will. I kind of don't exactly care if it will. If it does, sweet. If not, well, it doesn't matter. But I figured it'd just give us something different to work with, look at, and experiment. I'm going to be experimenting with some new bases. I know I've said it before, but I did make the thumbnails for my base tutorials, since apparently some people out there would still like to see me do some tutorials, even though this is not exactly a tutorial channel. However, you could argue the fact that any of these miniatures that I'm doing is basically a painting guide, which it more or less is. I mean, hell, I've always encouraged that you guys follow along, paint with me. I don't even care if it's the same model. Hell, one day, I figure if we're going to do a true paint-along, I might even set up a live stream on YouTube. I don't know how well that'll go. I'll probably need to talk to all of y'all and see what kind of time frame works best. Now, any of y'all, keep in mind, I am on East Coast time for the United States. All right. If that don't work well with you, well, gotta let me know. I'm willing to record or do streams at certain times. I mean, let's face it, I got a family. All right, as much as I am here for y'all, dude, I got a family. Work can't keep me around because of family. What the chance do you think you have? Anyway. Sorry, I got distracted there. That actually had nothing to do with my little rant. Saw something over here. Anyway. How you doing? Y'all doing all right? That's good. We're at 19 minutes. So we are going to call it right after this knee. I do thank everybody for jumping by, watching. We've made some substantial growth, at least in my opinion. Right at winter break, I think I was floating around 398, something like that. And now we're, as of recording this right now, and I haven't checked, we're sitting at 449 for subscribers. So we're about to cross the 450. That is awesome. I don't know. I'm looking forward to a lot of the stuff. But I guess we're going to continue this metalwork on the next round. So I'll see you guys next week for this Mr. Leetu. So until then, I hope you guys stay happy and healthy. May the Void Father guide your brush. And I'll see you next time, everybody. See you later.